Hello everybody and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael and today we're looking at a park. I believe this is this creator's first park called Mount Olympus, and it's by Zio2K, I believe is the name. And in the description it says this is a Greek themed park located in Florida. I tried my best to make it realistic as possible, but yeah, there's 5 coasters, there's 17 rides, and shout out to M&J Games. That's me. This park is inspired by his Valley America park, but stay tuned for more parks coming soon. So as you can see from some of the cinematic footage, there is a lot of really good things going in this park, and so I appreciate the shout out. I appreciate the fact that you said Valley America inspired you, and so I'm ready to go ahead and get started looking at the park. As always, we're going to start off here in the parking lot, and one thing I noticed is you've got a lot of the signs that I used there in Valley America. And the only thing I would suggest in my advice there is to change up, which this was honestly, this was a pain in the butt to do because you have to do it for everyone. But to change up the letters to do like A, B, C, D, E, and name them all different instead of some of them having the same. And I would just kind of lower these a little bit more into the ground. But we'll kind of get an overhead view look at everything. But now, here we have the main kind of entrance plaza, which we have season pass located over there, which is nice. And good use of different flooring as well without having to use the fencing pieces, which this, by the way, is at 94% on the PS5. And so we got this entryway, which I believe is similar to the one that I had in Valley America. And then looks like we got staff over in there. Yeah. So what I would say here is create what looks almost like a door just for the staff to walk through, wherever they're going to walk through it. Because I like how you've got that staff-only area. Look at that view of that dive coaster. I mean, that's beautifully placed. That is awesome. So we got Mount Olympus. Is this better than the one in Wisconsin? So we got standard tickets, man, $25. Woo! That is awesome. And I mean, definitely pulling off this kind of Greek style theming. I think this looks great. You know, the color choices, the building pieces. We got this nice kind of main, kind of midway in a sense. You got the little bathrooms. Oh, I love the detail there. That's nice. That looks really good. Yeah, this is something I did in Valley America. I got this idea from, I believe it was Planet Bro Coaster, watching their series. We got the door, which essentially, for anybody who doesn't know, this is just I think it's the Ghostbusters door, and then you turn it sideways, like to where you get the kind of the edges poking out, because most doors in this game don't have kind of a 3D look to them. They look just kind of like flat surfaces. But I love how you've got this kind of different material being used for almost like the sidewalk portion, and you've got the benches there and so forth. So that looks great. And then it looks like this would probably lead you back to the staff area. Let's see. Yeah, so good job with the staff areas and trying to add that level of realism, because that's what I'm all about. Once again, look at the view. Man, that's great. Now, I haven't actually taken a full look at this park since it was at about 80%. And the creator had that I-305 style coaster, the invert, and then the dive coaster in the park. So everything to the far right side is new. But I love how this is almost like this massive, is it temple? I forget the name of some of these buildings. Was the Parthenon in Greece? Was that? I could be totally wrong. I could sound like an absolute idiot for asking that. But yeah, let's actually start going to the left here. So we got lockers and storage rentals. Good job. Yeah, and so I could definitely see, the use of a lot of some of the stuff that I've made in other parks, which is great. I love seeing it because it's implemented properly. It's implemented well. And yeah, this looks really good. Love the little seating area kind of here off to the side. Once again, that dive coaster is just awesome. Ooh, we got this one. So I love the signs too. Percy Jackson. Never saw that movie. But But then you got the nice little entryway, and you got some info. Nice little touch on like a story behind the ride, and then oh, you did the custom queue. That's great. Love to see that. Yeah, you can't get me to ride that ride. Not at all. So now we got, once again, same bathrooms as before, which is fine. Like, they look really good. That fits the style. We got Trident. Oh, that's cool. Trying to make it look like almost a pitchfork. I wonder if you could have put the cones on top to kind of give it a little bit, just a little bit more of that pitchfork look. But this looks good. We got another food place. And then we got staff room back here. Yep, so you got a couple staff cars with no tires. What happened? But yeah, as always, we'll take a full look and from the aerial view near the end. I just love being able to see this in guest view. And this is nice, just having the fence there, but then also having all that foliage behind it. Oh man, those views are just awesome. So now we've got Wrath of Poseidon. Why is there a shark entrance? That's the only thing I'm a little confused by. Ooh, this is cool. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the queue for Wonder Woman at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. It's got, although it's got a building you kind of go in, but it's got kind of this same kind of style theming. So it looks like that might be a maintenance shed. Nice touch having the ivy hang off. Oh, okay, cool. So we got little bins to store stuff. So if we look at oh, I don't want to click on Jack. Let's see. All right, so if we look at these stats for the ride, it's hard to make dive coasters all green because they do go over half the ride is the chain lift and how slow it is. So let's go ahead and pause that so we can jump on the coaster. Stats look great. 123-foot drop. Man, it actually looks taller than that. We're going to ride this in front bumper as what's always best. So that was the Wrath of Poseidon, and I thought that was awesome. I think it was because as I said before, I do believe this is the creator's first park. I could be wrong about that though, but like pretty well done on the coaster, pretty smooth. Like everything's realistic for what you see with a dive coaster. And I like how you added in this extra inversion going into the brake run. I think that was a really cool touch and how it was done. I think Yukon Striker has an inversion that's kind of similar, not going into the brake run, but the kind of, you do the 0G roll and then you turn out of it. I think that's Yukon Striker, but I could be misremembering. And then I also like how you hit the brakes here and then you still have just a little bit that needs to turn. Let me get here. Really, really good job. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so it just looks like the maintenance building, but no transfer track. So maybe it's just a building where they would keep stuff. Oh, okay, I saw this on another ride. I didn't notice on this one. I don't really know what the creator is doing with, like, what the idea was with the coaster here. I know you're trying to do a transfer track, but the transfer track needs to be more horizontal. Like, it needs to be horizontal to it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, this is, it's something to always grow and improve upon because none of us are perfect. as much as we try to be. Let's see, now, does this put me on the roof of the building? Yes, it does. So we will just... Is that guy... I thought it... I thought it was a guy and I thought he was shirtless for a second. That's funny. That is funny. All right, one coaster down. I believe 5 more to go, or 4 more to go. So we have this exit. Really good job with the foliage. Here we go. So we finished this left side of the park. Once again, I think the views on this are just perfect. So well done. Very, very aesthetically pleasing. Honestly love making dive coasters in the game just because they always look so good. Alright, so now looks like we got another kind of major midway here. We got the chairlift taking us all the way to the other edge of the park. But we've got, oh, that's nice. So there's definitely a lot of good queue coverings here as well. Definitely did a good job with the theme. To be honest, I don't completely know where I'm going. So that's the exit to that flat ride. So there's the end of the dive coaster. Got another seating area. Looks like we got a food restaurant. And yeah, this drink stand. This is one that I got off the workshop. Now, the only thing I would say is that needs to be lowered down a little bit because the guests can't really reach it. Or the condiment stand. So I would just, hell bites. Well, that's not a good thing. Then we got what would be a backstage area. Yep. And definitely I think the more you build, the more you start putting more stuff in the backstage and making it more realistic. And now we got Hades. Okay, now I know why it's called Hell Bites. That makes sense now. But it kind of reminds me, that roof there is kind of interesting, having that kind of fencing part on the roof. So yeah, and so this is somewhere where you could place down a ceiling tile to kind of cover up the grassy areas, and it would look nice. Let's see, let's go ahead and head up to the station. Alright, so we have a B&M invert here. If we look at the stats on the invert, not everything's green, but the stats are looking good. Look at the results. G-force is great. And let's go ahead and take a ride, and I'll talk to you afterwards. My apologies. I was thinking this is an invert, but this is a flying coaster. So we're going to ride this like we would be actually flying on the coaster. We do the right side. So this is what you'd actually see, because if you're trying to put your head like this the whole time, your neck's going to be extremely uncomfortable. So that was really awesome. I think it was well done. I think flying in that mode, it actually felt really smooth. And my goodness, look at the space that this coaster takes up. Like that is a sprawling coaster, which is awesome to see. And with having 94%, like you could totally do custom fencing and not having to rely on this. Like you could have carried this around. You could do, if there's like a certain area you didn't want to get in, you could do the chain link fence with those kind of metal scaffolding pieces on every 4 meters or 8 meters. But yeah, really enjoy the coaster. Look, we got kind of what would be the road going around the park for maintenance and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I thought that was really good. Now, I do like the dive coaster more. And it's more just a preference because these pretzel loops, like, I'm not a fan. it it messes with me a little bit. But I will say, coming out of this, it almost felt like you got airtime. Like that was pretty cool. So let's see what time. Let's change time just a little bit. Here we go. All right, so let's hop back into Plipcam mode, but real quick, you can kind of see we've looked at the. Well, let's see over here. Okay, we got another flat ride. So we got Athena. Got some food. Got another place to sit. So I love this. It's kind of secluded. And then you got another staff area. We got food. You got where the that ride ends. That's a good job. Then we got the sundial. And see, like this is where if you did custom fencing, you could essentially make it look like there weren't like the two extra fences there, if that makes sense. Just make one fence in the middle for all of it. But it still looks really good and realistic because you see all these rides on concrete or blacktop that the queues are just basically slapped down. So now, before we look at the right side of the park, we can see just kind of the overview of the parking lot, which parking lot looks good. I don't know. Oops. I don't know what that's doing there, though. We'll take that off for you. There we go. Yeah, so nice parking lot. Good job with the drawing the lines and everything. And then still have more parking over here. And you get a good view of that Skyrocket 2 coaster. So now, here we go. That person looks tired. Looks like they could have a break from managing themselves. There we go. All right, so we got 3 more coasters left in the park. I know one of them's a kid's coaster, one of them's that kind of Skyrocket 2 model, and then we got the big I-305 style recreation. But once again, really good job with this whole midway, kind of extending all the way to the back of the park. And, I do feel like with basically so all the food buildings look very, very similar, if not the same. But that's because you kind of kept wanted to do one theme throughout the whole park. So that's understandable. Looks like we got the ring thing over there, and I'm trying to remember a Larson Looper. There we go. Although now it's an RMC Larson Looper. New credit is a Larson Looper credit. Absolutely not. But yeah, we're missing a piece of fence there. So yeah, one thing I would say here is if you're gonna have this kind of terrain paint the asphalt right here, why don't you just make this whole starting here, make the pathing asphalt as well. That's just my suggestion. But oh, yeah, it looks like a nice family coaster here. Oh, you got a little ride that's in between. That's a cool touch. Definitely like that. Oh, it's a spinning. Uh-oh. So as we head this way, actually, let's look here. Yeah, really pretty water. You got a little lake. You got the boats going around the lake. You get the view of the coaster right there. Really, really, really cool touch. So we got the medical space. Then we got Hermes. So continuing with kind of the Greek mythology, Greek god name. So Hermes is the protector. All right, that station looks cool. And you got these nice protective coverings. Let's see. Where are we going? Oh. Here we go. Yeah, good job with the lights in here. And you have the supports that had to come through the roof. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So we'll go ahead and hop on. Is it Hermes? Is that it? Yeah, Hermes the Protector. And we will chat afterwards. All right, so that was Hermes, and I love the custom supports. I think that's really cool. I would say, though, I think it needs to be smoothed out more because there are some parts that felt like it hadn't been smoothed at all. But these are really tough to make because in real life, they're not extended this far beyond the station. But in the game, we don't have anything that can lift while you're going up like this ride needs to. But it is a really cool sightline for the park. I think this part normally is a little bit more prolonged here. Um, but yeah, custom supports are awesome. Definitely some things that could done a little bit differently there, but there are also a lot of things that were done well with that, like the visual of it, the elements, and stuff like that. So now, as we look at this family coaster, you got kind of the dead grass in the middle there. I like it. So this is called Rhea. I don't know who Rhea is. Ooh, I like this. Having that planter like that gives it a nice kind of little wall. That's really nice. Really, really cool touch. So this one is called Hera. Once again, don't know who Hera is. So let's look at these stats, and then we will ride the coaster. Stats look good. Same thing here. Laterals maybe a little bit too high. But this one we're going to have to ride seat view. Well, there we are. And what was the name of that one again? It wasn't Hermes, it was Hera. Yeah, I think the first half did a really good job with how much it spun. And then it's like as you got right here, I guess that's maybe a little bit less than half. But then as you got there, it started kind of spinning a little bit too much, in my opinion. But it wasn't a crazy amount of spinning. So definitely like that. Nice. So this looks very similar to a building I made in Valley America, which is awesome to see. So you get inside, you got some food places so the guests can access it. Looks really good. You got a restroom. And then here, oh, that's the main. I don't know what I was thinking. But then you got places to sit, so it's really good. Man, these guys always strut. Adolfo. What a name. So now we just have one more coaster to ride. So even though this is a very spaced out park, he did a good job of making the coasters count, if that makes sense. not wasting a lot of counter with a ton of coasters like I tend to do. But it's called Zeus, Father of Gods. So there's kind of like Zeus holding the lightning bolt here. This ride is yellow and it's themed to a lightning bolt, or skin to a lightning bolt. That's really cool. Really good use of that lockers idea right there. All right, so now let's take a ride on the final coaster. Which apparently these people are too chicken to ride. No, no. All right, let's look at it this way. Yeah, this is really, really awesome. As you can kind of see the queue here, really well done. Like how there's covering in certain areas here and there. So let's go ahead and take a ride on the coaster as we look here at the stats. Everything all green. Fantastic. G-force is great. Talk to you afterwards. All right, so that was Zeus, the father of the gods, and obviously that's a heavily inspired, not the exact layout, but heavily inspired by I-305. As you can see, it dropping off the top of that hill right now. And you know what? I don't come to think of it. I don't know if we looked at the stats. So wow, everything's all green. Really good job. Max speed 93, biggest drop 281 feet. So it'd be I-281. But no, this is well done. And I'm trying to look and see real quick. Are these the wing cars? Yeah, they're the wing cars. So it's definitely, you can tell from the lift hill structure that it's the Time-At coaster, or in real life, the Intamin wing coaster. But yeah, this is really good, and I kind of like how it almost mirrors itself on each side in a way with the loop. But since you have less speed here, the kind of helix that you do a little bit isn't quite as large, because it doesn't need to be, because you're not going as fast as you were before. Because I'm sure the 93 miles per hour is exactly right here as you hit the turn. But yeah, that's really good, really awesome. And you know what? We gotta check out some night lighting, because I always forget to do night lighting. And everything looks like it's lit up how it should be. We got some, let's see. Let me get the HUD off the screen. So we got some, everything's lit up well. It doesn't look like anything specifically meant to be viewed at night. But stuff's lit up well. And yeah, so this was a really, really fun park to look at. And as I said, I think this is this creator's first park. I know it's the first one in the workshop, I believe. But I think when I reached out to the creator before, I think they're saying the creator said it was the first park. But it was really awesome looking at it. Like, there's, like I said, a lot of really good things with this park. And there's a lot of really good coasters and rides. And honestly, I think my favorite is probably. Okay, I gotta go. Zeus. For somebody who like me who loves airtime and big drops, I gotta go with this one. And then I think the dive coaster is second. So dive coaster is just awesome and really well done. And that's it for the tour. So make sure to download this on the workshop if you want to take a look at it for yourself. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you later.